to another exciting episode of Late for the Party on Anchor FM. I am your host, Melodious, aka Coverboy. Man, talk about things to come. I know I did one episode a while back to where I was like, things I'm looking forward to, but there is a couple of films that I did not mention in the last episode. So, my thoughts on that is definitely I want to go see a couple of movies that I am going to spit out my marble right now that I honestly thought I wasn't going to really be interested in. But either way, it is going to be awesome as hell. So definitely, I say if I'm going to check it out, I suggest you guys check it out as well. And like I said, you guys get me some feedback on it and everything else, and let's see what's going on, you know? Hit me up on Anchor voice messages. So, like, if we see movies and everything else, you see it, give me your opinions and everything like that. That would be so awesome to know. You know, like, I want to sit down and have a chat about John Wick Chapter 3. I mean, I think that was absolutely badass. A lot of people have opinions about it, but I want to hear it and see what everybody else thinks. So, now that being said, and all further to do, either way, here we go. So, next film that I am interested in seeing this time go round is definitely, it comes out today. Both movies comes out today, actually, and we're going to start off with Brightburn. Now, Brightburn is produced by the Gunn brothers, who are responsible for Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, if anything that's been going on with James Gunn and everything else is that, you know, he've already been in had some flack about, you know, leaving some tweets and everything, but, I mean, it has nothing to do with what's going on with this movie, I don't think, but there's a lot of things that is going on that, you know, it's pretty interesting how, like, you know, Disney let him go, and then now they brought him back to do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But before that, right after they kicked him out, he got picked up by DC. It got picked up by Warner Brothers to actually do Suicide Squad 2. So once he's done doing that, but then he's gonna move on to do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So either way, he's actually done this movie called Brightburn, which is kind of like a twisted psycho version of the origin of, it looks like to be the origin of Superman, which is starring Elizabeth Banks, who is also Rita Repulsa in Power Rangers, and she's been in 40-Year-Old Virgin and a couple other movies too. She's been around for a while, and she's pretty hot. So I mean, pretty much so. So basically, it's kind of like the retelling of Superman's origin, but somewhere along the lines, it goes horribly, horribly wrong. So, you know how, like, when Clark was the version of Superman, Superboy at the time, because by the time he hit puberty, he was experiencing some versions, I guess he was experiencing some versions of his powers and everything else, so who knows. I guess that's what's the retelling of going on in Brightburn. So looks like how the trailer says, evil has a new superhero. So I mean, I don't know, I was always a firm believer of, like, what would you do if Superman was a bad guy? Like, I mean, there's people like Superman, but, like, there's versions of Superman who were villains and everything else, but you gotta think, like, if, like, one good reason why I think the retelling of this film is kind of needed, because it's like, you see the other side of what this hero could actually be. So, I mean, and honestly, I'm a firm believer of, like, there's been stories, especially if you guys have been following on anything, like if you guys are video game heads, or if you guys heard around the campfire and everything, like, about the Injustice series, which is also a video game. NetherRealms actually created the game, which then the comic books actually created a storyline based off of the video game. But honestly, the stories, I mean, this is a first that a lot of comic book games actually turn into successful comic books. They don't really have a long run like Injustice has been rolling along as of late. I think it's been going on since the first Injustice, and I think it's still going on till this day. But it's the telling of, like, you know, like Superman. What if Superman was just the bad guy? Like, he was, like, if Superman had the tendencies of Magneto, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had, if Clark had Magneto tendencies, like, something just made him snap. He was a good guy, he just turned, he just had a bad day, you know? And honestly, and it's like, you know, he's going up against people like Batman and everything, and it's like, you know, you got this all-powerful dude, like, this all-powerful being who's not even human. So, yeah, man, I am excited to see this film, just to see what it does. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna get any, like, accolades or anything like that, but you never know. So this movie is basically, it's rated R. It's suspense and horror, so obviously there's gonna be some things that is definitely pretty gruesome. I don't think it's gonna be like horror show gruesome, but I think it's gonna be pretty it's gonna be pretty bad for, like, the people of Brightburn, I guess. And I guess that's where the place is located. I guess it's its version of Smallville or something, like, either way. But I'm looking forward to seeing that. Man, it actually comes out today. I think opening night at 7 o'clock today. So, hey, get your tickets. It's gonna be open everywhere, so I suggest everybody do their thing. Next film that I'm also looking forward to seeing is also known as, everybody should know, Aladdin. Oh man, it's a trip, because I actually want to see the film because it looks good. I mean, I think Disney is really going in the right direction with the cast. I mean, you know, it's definitely on no Avatar shit. I mean, not Avatar, The Last Airbender and everything else. So where, like, you know, like, or like Gods of Egypt and everything, where you got, like, freaking Australians and Scottish folk playing Egyptian gods and everything, which was like, what? How the hell that happened? Like, people need to get over the fact that, like, the Cleopatra syndrome, where Elizabeth Taylor, playing Cleopatra and shit. Like, come on, y'all gotta get out the jungle with that one. Either way, you know, Aladdin, you know, that it looks good. I really want to see how Will Smith plays the genie. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, to do a live reenactment of the film it's awesome, but also it's like, come on, like, we're talking about, this is some big shoes to fill. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm liking how Disney has been going the route to actually doing live variations of their films and everything, which is cool, and it gives it a different aspect and a twist and spin on it. So I'm actually interested to seeing how that goes. But I mean, there's been a lot of movies that they've done was kind of like, I wouldn't say hit or miss, but you know, it was different. Like, you know, Jungle Book, that one was cool. Maleficent, that was a different twist on it. You know, so there was different variations of like, and then I heard word around the campfire that there's gonna be a Maleficent. Fuck it, hold on. A Maleficent 2. There we go. A Maleficent 2. So, but yeah, so there's gonna be a part 2 of that coming soon. So Angelina Jolie got some money coming up in that department. But yeah, man, like Will Smith, definitely big shoes to fill. I mean, we're talking about Robin Williams, like, shined as the genie in the movie, in the animated movie years ago. I mean, I was young as hell when I saw that movie, and it's like, it even back then, it was just so freaking awesome, man. Like how do you add up and compare? Like, I wouldn't even say compare, but it's like, you know, how you compete. I mean, I wouldn't even say compete. Honestly, it's kind of like, damn, how am I gonna do this? Like, this is, I mean, and even for the producers to be like, okay, who can we get to be the voice of the genie? Like, come on. Like, it's just like the voice of, like, trying to get somebody to do Optimus Prime. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they were thinking about Liam Neeson before they got Peter Cullen, the guy who originally did Optimus Prime. But it's kind of like, you know, for the movies, they wound up getting Hugo Weaving to do the voice of Megatron over Frank Welker. Which, honestly, like, there's nobody, and I mean nobody, gonna do a way better job than Frank Welker from, like, the original series. I mean, that guy has done the voice of what was the dude? Shaggy Fred, the voice of Fred from Scooby-Doo. I mean, he's done a lot of work, and I mean, he's been around for a long, long time. And luckily, they were still using him even in the video game of Transformers Devastation and stuff. So, I mean, you know, like, for Will Smith, and honestly, I feel like Will Smith definitely is that guy who can, like, do it, because honestly, I couldn't see nobody else pulling that off. Like, who else other than, like, shit, I don't know, like, fucking Billy Crystal? Like, honestly, it's like, it's a different comparison. Like, you know, you come back from somebody like Robin Williams, who, and God rest his soul, man, it's like, damn, that still hurts a little bit, even thinking and saying that. Like, fucking Robin Williams gone, dude. Like, oh, that just hurts. That hurts my soul. That hurts my spirit. Oh, man. But honestly, on a humble, and it's like, how can you get the magnitude of somebody, I mean, to, like, do such a feat and a job like that? Like, Will Smith is, like, Will Smith is definitely that equivalent to, like, a household name, a guy who's, like, out there doing this thing, and, you know, he's charming. That's one thing about Robin Williams that, like, struck with a lot of people. No matter who you are, you could be a thug and be like, oh yeah, Robin Williams was the shit, man. Like there's never a dull moment when it came down to watching any of his films. I mean, honestly, I can't even say that there was a bad film that he's actually done. I mean, not off jump, and I mean, I can't even say that he had, like, I can't even really say Will Smith has had a bad film. Well, okay, hold on, let me rephrase that. I think he's had at least 2. But from, like, Robin Williams' standpoint, I can't think of one that he might have did that was bad. Like, right off jump, I can't even think of one. Let me know if there's any film that Robin Williams did that was half-assed. Okay, like, maybe what? Like, a movie that was, like, off the radar, or like Jacob the Liar, or even though I love Death to Smoochie. If you guys get a chance, if you got a Fire Stick, you guys watch Death to Smoochie with freaking Robin Williams and Edward Norton. I swear to God, that mess is funny as hell. That movie was so off the radar that, you know what, I am going to do an episode to where, like, there's going to be a lot of film. I'm going to do a film episode where, like, films that critics gave it a bad opinion, but honestly it was still good in my opinion, or like it was good like as a cult classic. So I'm gonna do a later episode of that, but yeah, I can't think of any film that Will Smith that Will Smith had some bad ones to me. I think Bright wasn't good, even though that was one of his latest films that he's done. And I mean, I guess After Earth, if you think about it, I mean, but it's M. Night Shyamalan, so it's kind of like anything with M. Night Shyamalan has always been a hit and miss. Like, it's always been, like, you know, Sixth Sense to, like, freaking The Happening, you know? Like, there's a lot of, like, hit and misses there. So, he's definitely going to be, M. Night Shyamalan is definitely going to be on that list. But yeah, man, like, honestly, I feel that he that they definitely don't, I mean, especially Robin Williams, I don't believe that he's really had a bad film. I think he's had some films that were under the radar more so than him having a bad film. And I think, like, later as his career has gotten, I think, like, most of the films that he was in, either guest starring or anything like that, was definitely definitely not on the radar as, like, he was, like, back in the day. Like, when he was on top of, like, you know, like, post-dead Poet Society and post-Good Will Hunting. So, I mean, you know, like, I'm pretty sure he's had some hit and misses. But either way, Will Smith is definitely got some shoes to fill in that department. Also, it's just interesting to see him being the color blue. I want to see any fucking keyboard warrior say, oh, why is he turning different variations? He's the fucking genie. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Okay, so, like, if he wants to turn himself blue, let him be blue. If he wants to turn himself into a black man for a quick second, hey, let him do it. He's a fucking genie, and it's a fucking movie. Stop taking shit so personally. But either way, yeah, man, I feel that's the fat of the land in that department. So, yeah, y'all. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. They both come out today. So, either, I don't know. I'm kind of picking and choosing to, like, I'm going to have to flip a coin to see if I want to see the one first over the other. But, either way, y'all, give me y'all opinions and y'all thoughts and what's in y'all mind about, you know, the films that I mentioned today, or if there's any films that I need to catch on my radar that I should be interested in watching. And everything else, and just let me know what's going on, y'all. Cool beans. So, yeah. Either way, this is your boy Melodious on this gloomy ass Thursday, cause it looked real ghetto as hell out here in these clouds. So, but either way, y'all, like, comment, share, subscribe, and support the podcast. Yes. Like I said, I am got things rolling. The shirts are here already. Just let me know what's going on. New subscribers, it's definitely gonna be like $14. But I'm selling them for $20. But if anything, for new subscribers, I'll sell them to you for $12. Or shit, let me drop it, even dial it down. Yeah, 12 to 14 seems reasonable. I don't know, I'm just playing with you. But I'll sell it for 12. So either way, you guys, this is the In My Mind segment on Late for the Party. I am your host, Melodious, a.k.a. Coverboy, a.k.a. Bald Bull. Oh yeah, it's gonna be an awesome day. You guys have a good one. And as always, it's okay to be late for the party, but never be late for the fun, y'all. For real. Never be late for the fun.